Hi, this is János, it's Real World Audio, and now we are truly focusing on how to take LaGrande from the basic version to the refined, and there will be no sidetracks. So basically, continuing on from the video before, watch it if you haven't seen it. And so what we are going to do with the refined is to get rid of hard edges and hard reflections, hard corners. And this technique is done in normal cabinets, or I would say 99.9% of available loudspeakers on the market on any price range is that they plop in a bunch of felt or additional elements, materials, glue, dampening and hard bracing, all kind of stuff to just prevent the cabinet from resonating. But really what it does is the more dampening you put in, the more bracing you put in, you are just bringing in the resonant frequency lower, and you make sure that the energy that is carried by those sound waves takes longer to dissipate, and the time smear you are getting because of that internal pressure is going to lengthen. Or the amplitude will be lower, but the time delay until when it happens, it will be elongated. So ultimately it will leave you a very nasty side taste, and that's why cabinets sound like cabinets. Doesn't matter how much dampening you put in. So my approach is very different. So what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of these hard reflections and singular nodes by getting rid of straight surfaces. So one thing I'm doing is like taking the top panel and just carve it in. So here at the top, carve this top panel in. So basically remove part of the material, make the top thinner, and if I'm showing it like this is the board, if you are looking at the top panel from inside the cabinet, then this carving in is like an oval shaped. So it's not like straight lines cut in. No, it's like an oval shape, and it's getting deeper and deeper as you go. If the pen would write. So it's getting in deeper and deeper. So there's no single height, no single transition, but it's really gradual, really gentle, and it's I could give you specific numbers, but I've forgotten them really. I have them written down somewhere, just not on top of my head. But basically cut it down to about half the width of the top panel. Same thing happening on the sides. On the side panel here, after you leave the area of the side wall, then about here, there, you carve out the side as well. Hollow it out. Same thing on the other side. Hollow it out to about half the panel width. So that's one thing, because what we want to avoid is to have these hard 90-degree angles. And one thing to do, very easy, is if you put something here and block it away, then you get rid of the corner. The other way to do it is to get rid of the straight edges, and that's what I'm doing. I'm getting rid of the straight edges. It would be nice to add something in here too, and if you want to do it, just do it. It will be also a good, nice addition, but you will need extra pieces of wood, and that would also, I didn't do it because that would add extra inertness to the cabinet and extra weight, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this with as light walls as possible to mitigate the resonance as less as possible. But actually, if you add an inner frame into it, that will make it much better. But then the frame that you add, it should be something much harder wood than the wall itself. So for example, you can add oak or walnut or something like that, or mahogany, whatever you have and can afford, and make a strong frame just like what I did with my voice of Lancelot. Here for LaGrande I didn't do it because I wanted to make it an easier project, a cheaper project. But if you do that inner frame, it can also step it up to an additional step. However, at this point, if you just hollow out the panels, that will take it quite a bit further already. Also, the hollowing, also do it at the bottom panels. So here, same thing, hollow it out. It's not critical how much the hollowing is. On my design, what I did is that both on the sides and the height, I did it so each direction the tuning frequency goes half a note, half a music note down compared to the straight walls. Same thing here, and half a music lower with the cutout with this and that as well. But if you can calculate, you can calculate it. If not, then just look at my previous videos. I explain how to get the numbers. And what else? One more thing, hollowing things out. Also round down here, the bottom, so it's not a straight corner. Here as well, round these down. How much and how you, what's the profile, what's the shape, it doesn't matter. The important bit is that you are just hollowing these out, rounding them down. Same thing here, round it down, hollow it out. And that will give for what's happening here as the air goes out from your cabinet and then it returns back, gets sucked back into the cabinet, it goes in and out with the music, then it's not the air pressure is not just going through a sudden drop of air pressure at this point, but with this funnel it's going to gradually change. So the pressure, high pressure to low pressure zone goes through a nice transition. So this is really a horn. I'm making a little horn here, but I can't say it's horn loading because it does not, this horn loading does not happen at the bass frequencies. So however, it happens at the pressure. So the pressure differential will be a lot affected. So it means that we are going to get much less turbulence with the air moving in and out, but it's too small to act as a horn as regards to efficiency improvement. So the bass output efficiency won't be really affected by these tiny horns which don't work down to that frequency where the bass is, but it's going to affect you a lot because it's not going to cause as much turbulence. So basically the speaker will be able to communicate what's inside that information much more efficiently to the outside. Now that's the front, that's the exchange between the low pressure zone of your room to the high pressure zone in your port, but then again there will be a lowish pressure zone inside the speaker. So here we have the same problem, and to fix that, what I do is add. So instead of hollowing out, let's maybe use another color for that. So add a rounder bit here. So I took a dowel, a wooden dowel, and routered it out so that it became like maybe like, so the dowel is a rod of this cross section, right? Like you have a rod like that. And what I did is I routered out a quarter from that, so took this out, and this bit added it to the top of the sidewall. And what it does is when the pressure is going in, instead of just suddenly at the corner, like here, suddenly